Dedicated her life to Christ. She promised to pay her tithes, to donate her properties to the church, and praise God. I'm gonna ask you to turn your Bibles. It's being projected. 1 Samuel, chapter 17. You may remain seated. Now the Philistines gathered their armies together to battle, and when gathered at Soka, which belongs to Judah, they encamped between Soka and Seha in Abez Dam. And Saul and the men of Israel were gathered together, and they encamped in the valley of Elah and drew up in battle array against the Philistines. The Philistines stood on the mountain on one side, and Israel stood in the mountain on the other side, with a valley between them. And a champion went out from the camp of the Philistines, named Goliath from God, whose height was 6 cubits and a span. He had a bronze helmet on his head, and he was armed with a coat of mail, and the weight of the coat was 5,000 shekels of bronze. And he had bronze armor on his legs, and a bronze javelin between his shoulders. Now the staff of his spear was like a weaver's beam, and his iron spearhead weighed 600 shekels, and the shield weaver went before him. The shield barrier went before him. Then he stood and cried out to the armies of Israel and said to them, "Why have you come out to line up for battle? I am not the Philistine, and you the servants of Saul. Choose a man for yourself, and let him come down to me." All the way to verse 45. Then David said to the Philistine, "You come to me with a sword, with a spear, and with a javelin." Repeat after me: with sword, spear, and javelin. But I come to you in the name of the Lord of hosts, the God of the armies of Israel, whom you have defeated. This day, not tomorrow, not later, this day the Lord will deliver you into my hand. And I will strike you and take your head out from you. And this day I will give the carcass of the camp of the Philistines to the birds of the air and the wild beasts on the earth, that all the earth may know that there is a God in Israel. Hallelujah. Hallelujah. Thank you, Jesus. I know that we're all familiar with the story of David and Goliath, and how this little lad struck him. And but that's not the ministration of the word. What I'm going to teach you this morning is the spiritual dimension on the life of this young guy. And his heart, his confession, his faith, his attitude, his vision. This is what I want us to consider this morning. We find ourselves at the decaying time on the people of Israel. And then a young man pops in the Hebrew history. Saul, the first king, is losing ground. It's not very liked by many people. This morning message, we will study the initiation, the faith, and determination of a young lad. was crumbling. It comes in the picture. Young. Now let's look at the enemy. A champion. A champion means that this man has won many battles. He was a winner in the sight of the adversaries. And his name was Goliath from God. That's important to know the name. The name was Goliath from God, which is a descendant on the family of giants, the one that Caleb faced when he took Hebron as his inheritance. It was a big family of giants. Goliath had other brothers. It was him and 4 brothers. That's why David finds 5 stones to come against the giant. It's not that he says, well, in case I miss, I'll get the 2nd stone. It's that the giant had 4 brothers. He said, I'm going to get Goliath, and if the other brothers show up, come on, I'll get you 2.
Come on.
5 stones. Nobody else showed up with that, of course. Hallelujah.
Man.
It is described as a big, huge, monstrous. Height was 6 cubits and a span. And according to an expert in measurements, he calculated 6 cubits and a span to be 11 feet 4 inches. Almost double my size. You look at me and just look at someone double than me. So that's how high. Not only was he high, his voice, because he was in the other side of the camp, there was a valley in between, and they could hear him shouting, come on, I want a man to come and fight me, and this will settle everything. If you win, we will serve you. And if I win, you will serve us. Of course he knew he was going to win. He had a bronze helmet on his head, and he was armed with a coat of mail, and weight of the coat was 5,000 shekels of bronze. And that is 175 pounds. So just the shield weighed more than David. He was so heavily armed that he had an arm barrier. You had this guy that was helping him with the weapons. You know, like the people that go golfing and they got their carrier. Whatever you want. Now, in our lives, we are going to face giants. And this is where the story is taking us now in applying this story to us.